Hello, I'm sitting here in my fugly ass robe that my mom got me, so it can't be possibly fugly if your mom gives it to you. And I'm trying to get some reading done for class tomorrow. I know folks are gonna have questions and I've already gotten questions as to what my unemployed life looks like. Here is maybe the first sliver I will give you is just that I let myself and this is gonna sound crazy, do what I want when I want to. It actually took me 10 seconds to get that out of my mouth because I was like, that's insane. Who would possibly live their life like that? It almost feels just reckless and crazy. But no, it's like no one's owning my time. I don't have someone paying me to be up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. I've been trying to give myself more grace and more fluidity with when things get done and the order of it all. Anyway, I have a little bit of I don't know if it's eye strain or a little temple headache or what the fuck it is, but I am doing a sponsorship with theraface. And I just had the call with them today where they went over all the features that it has, and the package arrived today, and then I was sitting here being wow, it's really just tight up here. I wish I could relieve that. And then I remembered that I have an unopened package that might be able to help me with that. Because how nice would it be to do some reading about identity politics while massaging your temple with a gun? So let's, it's not tilted. It's not tilted. It's not tilted. Okay. It's my best job of hexing you all. I'm also reading Cersei right now. Recommendation from my girly Scarlett. Hi, Scarlett, if you're watching. Thank you for the rec. It's been really fun to read. And contemporarily, I'm also really into Silver Spring right now, the Fleetwood Mac song. And so witchiness is upon me. But if I were a witch, maybe I'd have longer nails to open this package. Okay. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Oh my God. You might have seen, because I was not familiar with theraface before this, but I was familiar with theragun because I've been seeing all the girlies use it on their quads and on their shoulders and stuff after they do a workout. And I feel like everyone's just been buying them. Because I haven't seen a lot of sponsorships from Therabody, but they have one for your face, which for my TMJ afflicted folks, I dealt with that and I deal with a little bit of that. For my jaw clenching, teeth grinding while you sleep folks, yeah, this is what you need. This is what you fucking need. And I've been getting a lot of I don't know, little baby headaches. I don't know if it's withdrawal from Wellbutrin because I tapered off of that. I feel like I've been so fluid about, and I'm getting hot now in this. I feel like I've been so fluid about, and here's my gym fit that I never used. So we'll just use it tomorrow. We're being easy on ourselves. We're taking it easy because treating myself like a precious object will make me strong. Not being hard on myself and ruthless. And we have baby Kath to remind us of that. I have my little inner child wall to remind myself that when I criticize myself, this girl is who I'm criticizing. And that's just not right. That just ain't right. I feel like I look like the guy from Heartstopper right now. Anyway, I'm obviously back on my tangent bullshit, which is quite refreshing because I haven't done too many little clipperoonies for my oversharing series and vlogged in a minute, but I still got it. I can still pick up those tangents. I was gonna say like a motherfucking forklift, but I don't know if I want to compare myself to forklifts. But maybe I do. They're quite useful little things. Also, I'm on the claw clip gang now that I have short hair because ponytails no longer work. So we're gonna need something. We're gonna need a bigger boat. To settle back on the tangent, I did discontinue Wellbutrin. There's a little thing called the social model of disability that I learned about through my, political science courses. And it talks about how we do not just all happen to be simultaneously mentally ill for no reason. The systems around us, and there's a little bit of Marxism, a little bit of historical materialism, the systems and the structures around us materially, like the material things in our life affect us, not just in the way that we behave, but the way that we feel and we think. And so a lot of disability is reproduced in the really fucked up, toxic way that we live. And capitalism and the multiple things that are sort of siphoned out of capitalism, like the gender binary and the way that we feminize labor and subjugate different genders, and all of that, like that makes us mentally ill, dog. Like that makes us mentally ill. And so in following with that, like to me, the biggest thing that made me depressed was not just like my brain chemistry, which I wanted to believe it was, but like it was literally my job. And we know that, and I knew that. And so I was aware that, the typical course for Wellbutrin, according to one of my psychiatrists, is like around 12 months. I started Wellbutrin May of 2021. And so I was clocking in May of 2022 was also the time I was going to be quitting. It's also the beginning, kind of not really, of summer in Seattle. And so I thought, what a perfect cosmic synchronous event to cause me to discontinue my psychiatric medication. Like, Wellbutrin delivered for me. It did so great for me. I talked a little bit more about it on my TikTok, so I'll send you all there if you want more commentary around like the course of it for me and what I felt like over time. So I stopped it. My last pill was June 1st, or maybe even May 31st. I was in Montana, and because I thought, surely I can't be depressed this summer when I don't have a job and it's summer and I'm seeing all my friends and I have so many fulfilling things in my life. And guess what? I'm not depressed at this date and time of Monday at 11:03 p.m. So that could change. I am, again, like open-minded to the fact that like my own health is not a linear upward trend, and the regression, I shouldn't even think about like my mental health like regression, but like the change in the fluctuations of my mental health is not my personal failure. It's not my like moral obligation to like keep myself as happy as possible. Like these things do change, but disclaimer aside, like I am not depressed, and it's been 2 weeks since I've been tapering off, or 2 weeks since I stopped tapering, and I really have not had like marked symptoms. If anything, my sleep quality has been better, but there's a few other things that could be impacting that. But I do, and this happened even when I was on Wellbutrin, sometimes I'll get a little migraine-like thing happening. And the real only silver bullet is going to sleep, which that's why I'm like, it's a migraine-like thing, because I know for a lot of migraine sufferers, they'll go to sleep and they'll wake up with the migraine. So it's not like that's the instant cure. But in this case, it's like, I could just go to sleep. I could, but like, I know that I'm going to be stressed tomorrow because I have a couple meetings for this political project and this class on identity politics that I'll be stressed trying to get this reading done. And I don't want to be stressed while reading about fun things like that are interesting to me, So that's why, bringing it all back, that is why the theraface exists. And I'm freaking stoked on this. All right, you ready? Boom, we're turning it on. Boom, we got the infrared light, which changes when it gets close to your face. Like it understands the distance. How freaking cool. And this, depending on the color, like this is good for acne. So you want to just hold it in one spot. Like I get a lot of acne here. I'm not gonna do that right now, but like that would be a part of my skincare routine. But they did recommend to me to use this infrared light during the actual little jabbing motion. It's percussive, which I love percussion, like marching band. And you can just control, oh my God. But you can control like how intense the pulsating is. Like the guys, this is it. Like I will be doing this while I watch TV. I will be doing this on Zoom calls. My God. Okay, let's try it around the temple. Yeah. Neck action? Yeah. I'm gonna finish this reading with some theraface therapy, baby, and I'll catch up with you in a minute, but this was a nice little catch up. And kind of amazing that I started my little video on a Monday, like all of the professional vlogger girlies do. They start at the beginning of the week, and without even knowing, I started at the beginning of the week, because when you live your life naturally without a big bad boss and a big bad job guiding your entire life. And that's the thing though, my week doesn't even have to be starting on a Monday anymore. I can start my week any day I want. But today actually just feels like the start of the week because I got so much work done. I got a Patreon video done. I got a TikTok of my, this is where I'll end this clip, a TikTok of my hair routine. So you can't tell now, but I have curly hair, if you've not been around for the last like 2 years, in which I have been exploring my natural hair texture. And almost every single time I post a selfie on Instagram or have my hair curly in a video, like down in a video, I get questions about how I do it. And until I was unemployed, I did not really have like time when I was showering to be filming during that. And finally now I could take a nice leisurely wash day, shower and film it all. So that's up there on TikTok for you all. And I just got a lot of work done today, and it just feels like the start of the week. So oh my God. This park is massive. There's so many offshoots and little trails going everywhere, which is wonderful, but very overwhelming for me. I'm the kind of person where, like, if I go to an art museum, I want there to be a very clear route of how to get through all the exhibits without missing anything. Like, I don't want to have to, like, you know, and just gonna have to make peace with the fact that I'm gonna have to come back here to explore more, and I quite possibly may never see every inch of this park, because that's not the point. Existing with a car is an extremely atomizing experience, and in that way, sometimes losses are gains, because for those of you that watched this series back in the fall when I totaled my car the first month after moving here, I was pretty distraught. And now it's been like 9 months, and it has honestly changed my life for the better. I was just sitting here. First of all, I went to Burger Master, which is my favorite fast food place here. The local spot is called Dick's. Like, that is the local burger chain, but they don't have milkshakes and they don't have veggie options. So, out of here. Burger Master, I discovered, and everybody that's drank a milkshake from there has been astounded. To me, the milkshake is the reason to go to a fast food place. That's why I ride for In-N-Out. And this Burger Master location just happened to have veggie burger. It's one of those like old-fashioned, like drive up, someone rolls out in skates, takes your order. It looks like a Sonic kind of thing, but like not so commercialized. Well, I don't know if I can say that. Anyway, I don't have a car. Thankfully, it's not completely a drive-through. There was like a tiny little inside portion I could order from, but there was no seating because everyone else eats in their cars, in their little Atoms. So I was like, damn, where do I go? So I just walked down the street and I found this light switch bench. The UV is absolutely blasting my skin right now, but I just found this funky yunky bench. I was gonna go find a park, but I was like, might as well just sit here. It even has a little, like, this is where I put my food, but it has a little leg rest. And here's the unique experience of not having a car is I was able to sit here outside, eat my burger, which you could do if you have a car, but it's just like isn't as naturalized to you to like seek out experiences outside of your vehicle because that's your little safe space. And a girl walks by. I'm kind of embarrassed because I'm like, people are just, I'm like in this, it's not a suburb, but it's kind of suburban Seattle. I love taking myself on artist dates, and I love, you know, going on little outings with my inner child, my inner artist, whatever you want to call it. But every time I do, I'm like, has anyone else taken the bus to that park, walked through with a picnic blanket, read on the beach for 3 hours, then taken the bus to Burger Master, walked in instead of pulling up, ordered a veggie burger combo, and then walked to a random bench and sat and eaten it? Like, is that abnormal? I don't really know how others would perceive me. I don't have a good finger on the pulse of how others would perceive artist dates. I think they're great, but I don't know how others would perceive them. Anyway, this girl's walking by and I'm fucking embarrassed, right? Every time someone walks by, I'm kind of turning my head. I don't really want to make eye contact. She walks by and she says, "Good idea." And I look up and she's also holding a Burger Master bag and a shake while she's walking her dog, presumably back to her place of residence. And there was something so life-affirming about that. And it obviously would not have gone down the same way if I had driven my car. Then this other lady just walks by and she says, "Nice spot." And I'm like, it is a nice spot, thank you. And I'll leave this edition on this note, and that is to say that I'm a very, and I don't know if I've talked about this very much, but I'm a very unapproachable person. So I haven't clocked exactly what contributes to my unapproachability. I've always just summed it up to like my height. So other 5'10" and over women, if you want to comment, if people find you intimidating, or if you do seem like approachable to other people, because nobody ever comes up to me. Like, it's rare for me to get like a passerby that makes a comment to me, because I just must have like bad RBF or just a horrible aura about me. Like, I'm a very warm, like extroverted person when we're engaging in conversation, but to engage me in conversation seems to be like an uphill battle for most people. And I don't really know how to change that. It seems to be something ineffable. I've lived with that my whole life. The only time it's ever not been that way is when I would wear masks, because apparently the top half of my face is not, so it must be, I basically, I narrowed it down to the bottom half. Something's wrong with the bottom half of my face, and it must be really off-putting because people never approach me, versus my sister and and a lot of my friends, like, they'll just be in line and people will strike up conversations with them. Or when I was in Montana, my friends Jared and Sheridan, like, people would always just at a bar start a conversation with them, or at the gas station start a conversation with them. That kind of thing literally never happens to me. Or very rarely, like much more rarely than other people. Or when I'm in the South and everyone just approaches everyone there. It doesn't matter what you look like. Being a pedestrian has really helped me feel more in community, because nobody is going to approach you when you're in your car. So at least I'm opening myself up to the opportunity and to the possibility of that happening. But yeah, if anyone has any pills I can take to become more approachable, let me know, because so far all I've gotten is pedestrianism.